Okay guys, today we're gonna cover up some acne. I thought today would be a good day because I got some. You know, it's there. I mostly struggle with hormonal acne. I think this is from plucking my unibrow too aggressively, but the rest of it, all of this is hormonal. There's not a whole lot I can do to prevent it topically, so I just live with it. It's not that crucial to me. Most of the time I just kind of haphazardly cover up my pimples. I don't care too much. I'm 31 years old with acne. It's not that uncommon. You know, it is what it is. Like, if people are gonna judge me for it, that has more to do with them than it does to do with me. It doesn't affect my life. I do know what it's like to be self-conscious of it and kind of like have it affect your daily confidence, and I don't want other people to feel like that. So if you feel like your acne is affecting your life, then this video is for you. If you feel like you need to cover up your acne for a special occasion, this video is for you. If you feel like you just want to see my face, this video is for you. So let's jump right into it. The easiest way to do this is obviously doing like a full coverage foundation. That's not the vibe I go for most days. It's definitely not my vibe for today. Today I'm gonna wear a BB cream. That's it. I'm gonna start off with, if I have any like crustier ones, that sounds so gross, but like, you know, when you get the dry flaky skin around it, if you've been messing with it too much, which, you know, at me next time, jeez. I'm gonna put some Cicapair. I really don't know how to say that. I'm gonna say that's right. Cicapair by Dr. Jart. This is a moisturizer, but it's too much for my skin. I'll just be an oil slick, even more so than normal. So I just take a little bit on some fingers and just put it where I need it, and then rub it in just to kind of give that skin a little bit of added moisture, so it's a little bit easier to cover up, because you can cover up redness pretty easily, but it's a lot harder to cover up like flakiness. Rubbing that in pretty well. You do want to rub this in so that it doesn't affect the makeup that's going to go on top. Ideally you would do this like before anything else, like with your skincare. By the way, I've already done my skincare today, so I just did it, so my skin has like a little bit of it's mostly dry, but it still has a little bit of moisture on top. Okay, so let that soak in a little bit. If you want to, you can add a little bit of a really light translucent powder, like the Hourglass powder, all over your skin if you want to add a little bit of extra coverage, a little bit of extra staying power. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but you certainly can. Let's talk about product. So if you've watched my videos for any amount of time, you know that my favorite is the NARS, what is this called? Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is my favorite for covering up spots and imperfections. I don't use this under the under eyes because it's just too full coverage. It is great for on top of spots because it's matte, so any oiliness, whether from my skin or that product, is gonna kind of be counteracted by this, as well as it'll look more skin-like. My under eye concealers, I go a little bit lighter. This is truer to my actual skin tone. You really want to match whatever like spot concealer you have to your skin tone or to your foundation. That's the biggest telltale sign, is like if somebody uses a concealer that's like a little bit lighter for their under eyes, which is a great look and I support that, but then they use that same concealer on their spots, it looks like you're just highlighting your spots because it's lighter. So you want it to match, please. And then let's talk a little bit about hygiene. Pimples are from bacteria getting in your pores, so ideally you would want to be really careful with your hygiene, especially around those areas. So what I would do is I would take a brush and take the back of the brush and dig out a little bit of product, put on your hand, and then work from your hand rather than like touching your face and going back into the pot. Dig out a little bit. You don't need that much for this product. I don't know if you can. That's how much you need. That's probably too much, honestly, for me. And then just on the back of the hand. I have some special guests back there, so if you hear some sneezing and sniffing, it's these precious baby angels. Okay, so I am gonna go in and cover spots before I put on my foundation, which is a risky move because the foundation is gonna take away some of the coverage, but it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm taking it on a really thin pencil brush. I'm not going too much in at a time. Start wherever you want, really. I'll start with this one because it's flat. Should I zoom you in? I'm sorry. Okay, so this one is pretty flat. It's not very raised, but it is a little flaky. So it's easy to cover. Alright, so I've put concealer on all of the spots. I have not blended them yet. So for blending, you can definitely use your clean fingers. I'm going to, this zooming in is not working, sorry. I'm going to use my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And this foundation is pretty emollient, so I don't have to worry about it like drying too quickly. But go very lightly when you're blending. If you can, try to blend around the spots rather than directly on it, just to preserve the coverage. Okay. And I just did a rough blend, like I didn't care if it was perfectly blended out, because now it's time for foundation. I'm again working from the back of my hand, not directly on the concealer, obviously. So like foundation, concealer. Ooh. Okay, and then with your foundation, especially with a lighter coverage, you want to work from where you need the most coverage and then work your way out. Going very light to not disturb any coverage that's already there. And I'm choosing a beauty blender, A, because I just like it with this foundation, but also I can control the pressure a little bit easier because I'm just doing a tapping motion, so I'm not going to disturb any coverage that I have just laid down. So now I have the BB cream on. I need to drink some coffee. And I have that layer of concealer underneath. You can see where some of the coverage has come off, totally normal. We're gonna go back in, working from my hand still, because I still have some product there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is take that same Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm going into my MAC Studio Fix powder. This powder is pretty high coverage for a powder, and I'm going to go on top of, directly onto my spots with this. If you have a lot of texture on your spot, a lot of flakiness, this might not be the best option. This is good for just getting maximum coverage, less about the texture. But what we're gonna do is go in with the powder and then go back in with concealer. So you can actually layer concealer on top of powder if you do it correctly. And I know that's scary for a lot of people because you think it's just gonna get extra cakey, but if you're working really precisely with that pencil brush, it won't get cakey. Okay, this one, oh man, you really can't see it on camera very well. But this one is actually cystic, so it's got like, it's very bulbous and three-dimensional. So I actually have to cover up the shadow for that. So I'll show you how to do that as well. But get a little bit more product on the back of my hand. And cover them up again. Okay, so for this mountain, I'm taking a really light concealer. This one is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo. You don't need very much of this. Please don't mistake me for that. I'm gonna take an even thinner brush if you have one. And and I'm just gonna get a little bit of product, and what I'm gonna do is actually highlight where the pimple creates a shadow. I really don't want to zoom you guys in on my acne, but I feel like it must be done. All right, this is an angle I never wanted. Okay, so that's the guy. You can see that there is a little bit of darkness underneath it. Ignore all my like scars, and it's fine. And this is not an angle that I can see very well, but I'm gonna try. Oh, I can't do it. Very carefully go underneath and just tap it out. That made a big difference already. Okay, so as you can see, everything looks smooth, nice. Like the lights are kind of washing me out, but not too much. Yes, it all looks one color, and that's what you want. So I'm going to do my under eyes. Now we're gonna go in with the Studio Fix in a big fluffy powder brush and just powder my whole face. Be sure that you are pressing the powder in instead of buffing, just again to preserve that coverage. Another tip, another reason why you want to press in your foundation is, you know, we are all mammals. Mammals have hair. You have hair on your face. If you remove it, that's awesome, but naturally you have hair on your face. And I don't think most of us really deem it necessary to remove it. It's fine, but there's nothing worse than when all of that hair gets covered in foundation and powder, and then the hairs just become 10 times thicker because of the product. So to avoid that hair kind of like sticking up off your face and becoming more noticeable, you pat. If you really need to, you can brush the hair down, and that really works. So give that a try if that's an issue for you. I used to use a powder foundation that you had to buff in. It wasn't Bare Minerals, it was like something from the drugstore. And I was like, man, it always gives me a mustache. Like, I don't really have a mustache, but it gives me a mustache. And then I realized it was from buffing it in and just sticking what hair I did have just straight off my face. So that was dope. Yeah, so I feel like the texture looks good. Color looks good. You can touch up this concealer throughout the day if you really needed to. Whatever, you know, I'll take my powder with me and just kind of bump up that coverage and the, you know, prevent the shine. But don't worry about it too much. Yeah, let me do the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back on here and we'll talk. Cool. Okay, so this is the after. Super simple. This is just me editing. I need to go to the mall, pick up some stuff, hit that Sephora sale. So I didn't do anything crazy. But as you can see, my skin is looking great. I want you guys to consider your texture when you're covering up your blemishes, whatever they may be. Consider if you're gonna be oily or dry in those areas. Like me, you could be both. Look at that dog back there. Oh, she is extra cozy. Oh my goodness. She's just asking for a belly rub as soon as this video's over. Let me see if I can. What an angel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, consider the texture of your spots. Consider if they are raised or not. Some things you might want to look into would be maybe a color corrector if you feel like that's something you need to do. Green cancels out red, so you could do like a little bit of green concealer underneath that first layer of concealer and then do your foundation. Please just don't go right in with a green and think that's going to cancel it out and make your skin tone. It won't. It'll just make a weird ashy color that then you need to cover up. I'm not really a big fan of color correcting. I don't really see the point. Consider your concealer. Try to go with something that's a little bit creamier rather than liquid to cover your spots. Please don't use the same concealer for your under eyes that you do for your spots. They're just not meant to do the same product, or to do the same thing. So please don't. What else? Get some pencil brushes. This Real Techniques brush is a lifesaver for so many things, except for my crease. I would never use this on my eye. But this is super cheap. You can get it in a set from from Ulta for like less than 10 bucks maybe. So highly recommend that. If you're struggling with acne, you're not alone. It's fine. It doesn't define you. You are who you are and you're beautiful no matter what. So if this is something you want to do to feel a little bit extra glamorous, a little bit extra put together, that's great. Please don't feel like you need to cover up your spots. Nobody needs that. It's fine. You're a human and humans have spots. It's fine. That goes for all makeup. Don't ever feel like you need to wear makeup. You're fine just the way you are. If you want to add makeup to express yourself, to feel a little bit extra put together, to feel as beautiful as this puppy that just came in the room, then I support that. Penny, do you wanna? So, oh, please don't, no, I just preserved this. Oh, she has a little spot, if you're wondering what that is. She's fine. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. What should we ask them? Oh, please don't eat my makeup. Comment down below something nice, something positive. Tell me something good that happened to you. Tell me about some imperfections that people have that you really enjoy. Like for me, I really like a good big eyebrow. My husband got some big fluffy brows and I think it's adorable. I love it. Cool. Subscribe. I will see you guys on Friday. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you guys are crushing it. If you just went back to school, congratulations. I'm proud of you. You can do it. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.